Welcome to the AI Automations for Business podcast. We're your hosts, Katie and Noel, and we'll be discussing how you can use AI for your business along with the latest news, updates, and automations to help you stay ahead of the curve, allowing you to grow and scale your business more efficiently. Please be sure to subscribe, and I hope you enjoy this episode. Hi, hello, and welcome back to another episode. Hi, I'm Katie, and as always, I've got Noel here with me. How you doing this week, Noel?
Oh, doing great this week. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. I'm almost ready to put a sweater back on, I think.
Yeah, we've had summer. We've had too much of it, haven't we?
After how many heat waves? Was it 5?
Four
4?
or five.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've had enough of that.
yeah, had enough of that. Time to put jumper back on. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, we're British, we're happy with that.
Yeah, exactly. Comfortable.
Yes, yeah. So this part of the podcast, we always let you know of any updates that are to do with AI and automations that obviously are relevant to business. So, no, any updates that we need to be aware of this week?
Yes, there's one big one which is making quite a few got a bit of noise in some circles, and that is the stealth release of a new model called Ox Alpha. And this was released a couple of days ago on a platform called OpenRouter, where they have loads and loads. They've got 600 AI models you can pick from and things like that. So that this model appeared on there, and it's basically around like the Fable 5, maybe GPT 5.6 Sol kind of level intelligence. So it's very, very clever. And what's also catching people out as well is it's also multimodal, so you can input text, image, and video. The and video
Whoa.
part is actually quite different to
Yeah,
what most others do, because with Claude you can't put video in. It has no idea.
no.
It can't, which is really frustrating sometimes. Just like, just watch this video and tell me about it.
It is really annoying because sometimes I'm watching a TikTok and they're talking about products and I'm like, but like, I don't know, like, I didn't catch the pronunciation or I don't know how to spell it. And what I would
Mm.
love to be able to do is just stick it in Claude and go, what are the products listed or mentioned in this TikTok video? And it
Mm.
comes out and tells me and where I can buy them. Now, probably by this time next year, that will be the norm.
Yeah, I'll build that this afternoon with Ox Alpha for you.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it seems almost ridiculous now that you can't do things like that when we can do so much with AI.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Yeah. It's getting there. We're getting close to
Mm.
but the thing with this model though is there's so much speculation because they've given out a ton of usage. So I think they've allowed something like 200 trillion tokens a day to be used on this model completely for free for like the next
Right.
week or so. And I'm just having a look on OpenRouter's website at the minute, and they've in like the last 4 days or so, they've only used up about 20 trillion tokens, which is still a hell of a lot
Yeah.
of usage, all for free. So yeah, there's a lot of people trying to work out who it is, what it could be. I think a lot of people are thinking it's going to be a GLM model from ZAI, one of the Chinese labs. But yeah, looking
Who,
at it,
who,
they only.
who do you think it is? Because I've got suspicions.
Oh, so I've got a couple of
Can
big
I go
suspicions.
first?
You go first. Don't you dare pick one of mine.
So I actually think, and
Mm.
I think I've got it with this one.
Mm.
I think it's Miss Scarlett in the library with the candlestick.
Yeah, could be.
Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
Well, if you're right, wow. Well, should I go with my options of what,
Go,
what I
go,
think it might be?
I mean, go on then, if you must.
So I've got a few contenders. So I've got three. My one that kind of makes sense would be Google. So when you're looking at like giving away trillions of tokens of usage for free, you kind of got to look at who's got the most servers, who's got the all these data centers around the world that can have that capacity.
And also, who
So
can afford to give away that many tokens?
exactly, yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
that is actually quite a lot of money.
It would be, yeah, a hell of a lot of money. Well, it depends how
Yeah,
much they put the model up price wise. When
yeah,
they release it, we'll find out.
yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I think like Google, they haven't released a model that matches anything from, Opus 5, GPT 5.6. They've had a few little releases recently with a couple of little flash models, which kind of hit the low end from OpenAI and Anthropic. So potentially it could be one of theirs, but looking at the odds, not many people think it is. But I think that's probably a sound bet. My other bet, which is a little bit more outlandish, is this could be the update to Haiku. So this could completely disrupt all of the API usage for businesses and things like that. They'll all switch overnight if it is to Haiku or would be 5, because this hasn't been updated since last October.
Right.
So yeah, it's well overdue. But yeah, if it could squeeze into that level intelligence for a cheaper price, that would disrupt a lot of things. But I think that also is quite unlikely, unfortunately, that it is Anthropic, and mainly because some really clever people have gone through and looked at like this from a technical perspective, and they reckon it's one of the Chinese labs.
Okay.
So I did a bit of research, and no one's talking about it yet. So if I've got this right, then I would like this to be noted and etched in stone somewhere.
Okay,
Uh,
you've heard it here first.
exactly. So I think it's from a Chinese lab called Xiaomi, and they're behind the Mimo models. So you may have never heard of them, but they're kind of cheapish kind of models. They're pretty good actually. They're quite intelligent, and they haven't released one since April 2026 was their last update, I think.
Okay.
So, but the kicker, as ChatGPT would put it,
Mm,
is they've got a habit of releasing models without telling them who it's from.
okay.
So yeah, their last two that they released secretly were called Hunter Alpha and Healer Alpha. Now, what are the odds that they've also released something called Ox Alpha? I mean, just piecing it together, yeah,
Mm, okay.
gonna go all Columbo on it, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I think that's probably who it is.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that could be quite shocking. I think actually, if it is them, and they've got this video input as well, I think that could
Yeah.
get quite a few people excited about that. But we shall wait and see. I think I say we're about a week away from finding out who it is. I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have to watch this space.
Watch this space.
Yeah, but if I've got that right,
Bragging rights right there.
exactly, yeah. Cool. Yeah. But
Okay.
yeah,
So,
that
any other updates that we need to be aware of for this week?
there is one other, but we're going to talk about that in our main part. So that is a release of Grokbot. We're going to go in a bit more detail into that in a moment.
In this week's episode, we are talking all about the different types of AI agents, when to use them, and also the skill level that is required for using these AI agents, which I think it's really important because we can talk about, all these different AI agents, and then, you could then want to go and use it and then realize actually it's above your level of competency. So it kind of then makes it really frustrating, I think, when
Hmm.
someone's really hyping up something and then go, actually, I don't have that level, or it could be the other way around. Actually, it's really basic
Mm.
and it doesn't do what I want it to do. So
Yeah, you kind of find out when you give it a go, don't you, sometimes?
yeah. So
Yeah.
hopefully in this episode, we're going to just kind of point you in the right direction so you're not wasting a lot of time as a business owner, because
Mm,
obviously time as a business owner is very precious.
absolutely. Yeah. So I guess the first section we'll go through are agent builders. And like we mentioned a minute ago, there's a new agent builder's come out recently, within the last week or so, and that's from XAI. So this is Grokbot, and it has its uses, but it has a lot of drawbacks as well. So very briefly, what Grokbot allows you to do is basically create like little teams of agents to go off and do work for you. You can connect your apps, you can have skills. It's the usual kind of thing that you would expect an agent to do. But the big drawback I have for it is it's $200 a month
Okay.
as a basic. So it's like, well,
Mm,
as a business owner, am I going to waste my $200 to find out that it doesn't do what I want it to do? Probably not.
yeah.
Yeah, it's it's quite cool how it works. There are some interesting features where you can have your agents go off and chat to each other and go off and complete things. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It gives me the wrong sort of vibes. But it's that kind of it does allow you to like create agents from plain language. So it does have that ease of use in
Yeah,
there as
we
well.
like
So you
that.
don't need to be exactly. We don't need to be super technical to say I need an agent to create me some marketing material. We'll go fine. I'll go
Mm,
off and do that. So that's great. But yeah, there are other things in there as well. You also need to describe what the agent does so other agents know what it does. So that's not something that's within, that's created automatically. That's something you have to do. So if you get that wrong, then your experience with Grokbot will be, far worse than somebody that's, really good at describing those sort of agents. So yeah, not sure about that. But there are other builders as well. So obviously I've built one called Clyde, which is fairly similar to Grokbot. Obviously with Clyde you can connect in any AI model you wish. So we're not tied in because like with Grokbot you're tied into whichever Grok AI model. It doesn't. You can't even pick which one you want to use for each agent. You just do. You get whatever you're given.
it just gets allocated.
Yeah. It doesn't say
Yeah.
which one it is or anything like that. So it could be even their lowest model.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't know. But yeah, with Clyde, you can pick any. You can use Anthropic, OpenAI, Google. You know, any model whatsoever. You can even use Ox Alpha if you wanted to right now,
Mm,
as an example. But yeah, though, like with Clyde, again, it's really easy to get on with. You can just describe what you need to do in plain language and it'll go off and build it. So there is a market there are other tools out there that also do very similar stuff. So that's kind of one end of the agent builder market where you can describe and it will go off and then do that, build those agents for you. But then there is the other end of the same builder market, which is where apps like Make.com, Zapier, and N8N sit. So for this one, you would need to be a little bit more technical, mainly because you've got to build these agents manually. So, you've got to create like the scenarios, plug them together. You've got to connect the apps in and things like that. So with that one, yes, they do, again, very similar stuff. They can connect into all of your applications that you use in your business, but it's going to be a bit more of a technical leap to get you to that point. And yeah, like system prompts, that's all stuff you've got to do yourself. So that's kind of a skill in itself, is getting those prompts right, things like that. So yeah, those are the two ends of the agent builders. But yeah, what I would say, like some of the like the Grokbots, and I think there's like Relevance AI, like most of those will just keep you in one particular area. They will use one model. They don't really give you much flexibility. So when assessing those, do check that out first. Things like that.
Okay. Good tip.
Yeah. So these, I would say, like the builders are kind of like an easy way to get in. I would say if you want to get into like the intermediate level. I wouldn't say they're super beginner, but they're in that middle ground. They're not super technical either. Yeah.
Okay.
And I guess the next one after that, and I think this one actually has the most risk. When I was thinking about this earlier, and it's like agent systems. So you've got things like Claude Cowork, and you've got ChatGPT Work. Now, again, they're single agent systems. They'll go off and do stuff. You can connect all your tools in. It's already built into your subscriptions, which is great. You can you're already paying for it, so why not use it? I guess is one argument. But the big risk I see with these is, these companies, they're going to be looking at how many people are using this, how much of their resource are they dedicating to this particular service, and is it worth their time? So as we saw with OpenAI, like they got pretty ruthless. Like they chopped Sora, the video generator. Like they got rid of that. They were said that's a waste of time. We're moving away. So who's to say in 6 months' time that ChatGPT Work just disappears because nobody really uses it? So yeah, I think that's probably quite a big risk in terms of, for business use cases. You don't want to put loads of effort into building something and then it either completely changes or goes away overnight, which these sort of things tend to do. But again, they're really easy to get into. All you need to do is connect your apps, which is really straightforward in the applications. You can just ask for it to go off and do stuff, and it will do it for you. So, very, very. I would say that these are the super beginner friendly, easy to get started.
Yeah. Okay, great.
The third tier to this is kind of like the self-host. Now, this is like super technical. I'm not going to go into great detail in how you would do it, but it is possible to do it. So you could either host on your own computers, laptops. You could host it on your like a virtual server somewhere, and you could run things like OpenClaw. There's other agents like Hermes that you can run remotely. So these are all, they're not going to have like a subscription cost per se, but you'll pay for your server usage. That's kind of where it gets you. But yeah, again, these are really open. Like you can pick whichever model you want. You can tweak them. Most of them are open source. So if you want to jump into the code and make it better, you can do. That's up to you. But yeah, I would say these are like the super expert level, of building agents. And some of them aren't that particularly great. I mean, we've been through OpenClaw earlier in the year. And been through all of it.
Why it came about that you then created Clyde.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I was like, this isn't safe. I mean, the biggest drawback for some of these, especially if you install them locally on your laptop, is these apps would then have access to all of your files. So if you don't want that to happen, then don't go down that route.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially if they got sensitive client information or personal information, your agent will go off and find it. These agents are incredibly clever at finding stuff these days. Yeah.
And you've got to think really like all of the things that we do on our laptops. Like we just think, oh, we'll just do this. And it could be like buying car insurance, buying travel insurance. It's then going to know all of that information.
Yes.
It could be that you've people are sending you emails about a trip that isn't work related. It could be like a French trip or like a hen or stag do. which I think is a bachelor or bachelorette party in other parts of the world. So then it knows information about that as well. It knows your location and
Mm.
yeah, all those things. And yeah, I just think we don't realize actually how much information we have on our
Mm.
computers.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, because I found this when I created Clyde. Now, there's also an open version of Clyde, and when I was building that and having it on my laptop, like when I was early testing it, it was like, oh, I can't find out how to do this, but I'll run this terminal command and then save this file to your desktop. And I was like, oh, what? No, 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 no. It's before I put all the guardrails in, so it can't do it anymore. But it just goes to show that these agents, if they have like access to like terminals on PCs and laptops, can go off and do whatever they want, which is, yeah, not ideal. Yeah, especially for businesses, definitely not
Yeah.
ideal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, those are the kind of like the three main areas of
Yeah.
different agents to build. So I guess like if you're like a beginner, you're not really sure how to get into agents and things like that, then I would say look at the sys agent systems first. You know, have a play around with Cowork or ChatGPT Work and things like that, and kind of get used to how to connect the tools together. You know, connecting your accounts into an agent, and then, you know, seeing how an agent would go through and use each of those. So most of them will say, well, look, I'm now going off to Salesforce, I'm getting this information, I've now got the information, I'm now doing this with it. And then it shows you that breakdown of what's going on, which is really, really helpful, especially as a beginner, to understand how these sort of things work. And also, it's also a good way of actually spotting things when it does something wrong as well. So you might see it do things. Hey, hold on, you could have done it quicker this way, and you can teach it that as well, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, so beginners, systems. Then I would then look at builders, like in your intermediate level. So yeah, I would definitely look at like anything like Clyde. If you've got the money to have a go on Grokbot, then you can do. The other tools are out there as well. I think Relevance AI is another one. There's tons and tons of agent builders that you can pick from. But again, they're a little bit more technical. You will have to a little bit more hands-on maybe on some than others. So yeah. But again, the same sort of processes apply where you can connect everything in, which is really cool.
Yeah.
But obviously, the other builders from Make, Zapier, and NN, that's where you're going to have to learn. I guess with Make's a little bit different with the latest release of Maya, which is
say that.
Yeah. So you could ask their Makes agent to go off and create you an agent. So yeah, and it will take you through it all step by step, so you can see it being built, and you can then learn how to then build them for yourself in the future using Maya, which is cool. It is, yeah, it's really, really awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would, yeah, that's kind of the intermediate. Like I said, the experts, probably not for most people that listen to this particular podcast in the self-hosting. So yeah, obviously all of these have all different prices as well, which is also worth considering. Also, when looking at these, you know, check out which AI models you can use. Some businesses out there, you may be restricted. So you know, your business might be like, we're only going to use Gemini, we're not going to use any other model. So you're like, right, well, I need to go off and find an agent system that I could use that also has that option to use those models, so you stay compliant and things like that. So yeah, it's always worth keeping an eye on. And I guess the other big thing as well when looking at these sort of agent systems is kind of, you know, is there what's the usage limit? Like how quick am I going to, you know, hit limits and basically can't do anything thereafter? So that's also a very important consideration, because you don't want to do a ton of stuff on Monday and then you can't touch it for another week. That would be really frustrating. I think anything on the Anthropic side, you will run into those limits pretty quickly. So like Cowork, I would watch that. But like that's why I kind of like built Clyde in a way where it was like a bring your own API key and your own AI models. So you control that usage and cost over time.
Yeah.
So yeah. Those are the main points. And yeah, like I wouldn't be afraid of trying out agents. Agents have been out for, well, how long have they been out now for? About 18 months, I think we've been having agents for. So they're only getting better as well, and they'll be easier to use in the future, no doubt as well.
So if someone hasn't tried using an agent for say 6 months, would you encourage them to try using one again because they've changed so much in those 6 months?
Yes, 100%. So,
Okay.
I mean, when agents first came a thing, it was N8N were the first ones to really bring out an agent,
Yeah.
and they had all kinds of flaws, and that kind of turned a lot of people off.
Hmm.
so yeah, things have moved on exponentially in all areas since then. So yeah, definitely give it a go.
Okay, great.
Mm.
Okay, and if you've got any questions that you want Noel to answer, you can either email us hello@makeautomations.ai or come and pop them in our free LinkedIn group, which is called AI Automations for Business. Anyone is welcome to come and join that group. And yeah, you can pop a question and we'll try and answer it for you, maybe on the podcast. Or if you would rather, we can just keep it to the LinkedIn group. But thank you so much for listening to this week. We really hope you found it helpful, and we will catch you next time for another episode very soon.